Well, my computer hates me, so I guess this video is being uploaded late for posterity's sake or something, I guess. But let's talk about Malekith, even though his time in the Spotlight Cache is over. If you do have Malekith and you're looking for some ways to continue to benefit from those keys or tokens that you spend, here's some decks that worked well in my experience of playing Malekith, and then some decks that have been top performing with him from a data standpoint. So first, I'll show you my deck. This is the deck that I made. I made a separate video about it, the Secretly Speedy deck. It's a lot of fun. It's a Ronin deck. That's what it is. Assisted by a Malekith and a late draw Maximus, or a late draw Grandmaster, late draw Master Mold, or a late draw Mystique to Mystique your Ronin was always sweet. So, really, really fun deck. Had a lot of fun playing it. Really inconsistent though. Not a high performer. Not an amazing performer by any means, but fun to play. Then we have this deck, a Dracula discard deck assisted by Malekith, which is the #1 deck according to plays. This is the deck that's having the most plays with Malekith, and this is a spot where I actually feel like he makes a lot of sense. I personally love discard. It's my favorite archetype, and I have 2 discard decks, but neither one of them I wanted to work Malekith in. I probably could, actually. It might be smart. Maybe I should really consider it. But I just like the way my deck works. Nonetheless, this is the one. It's got about 1,400 games on it, which makes sense with Malekith for 2 reasons. One, deck thinning is really important when you're trying to draw your APOC or your Scorn to be able to have your Dracula hit it. Additionally, having Malekith pull down a Colleen or a Gambit or even a Morbius type of thing or a Blade, and having that final additional discard on your APOC is a pretty big deal. However, drawing a Swarm or a Scorn is not going to be fantastic. Even a Morbius is good because that's just a large amount of power they're not expecting, but really makes sense in this archetype. The highest performing deck with Malekith, though, has been this Toxic Malekith deck. It's at a 65% win rate. I'm missing 3 of the cards in Anti-Venom, Man-Thing, and Ajax. So again, kind of an Ajax deck. You kind of get the idea behind it. I actually think this is a Regis deck, or a version of a Regis deck. I don't think his had Juggernaut. I don't remember. But this is the one with the highest win rate, a Toxic, Juggernaut, Valentina, Ajax, Malekith deck. So, fun deck if you've got it. Throw in, Anti-Venom, Man-Thing, and Ajax, and those are your top performing decks. So, Malekith, he's at a pretty interesting spot. Just to speak about Malekith for a moment briefly, I don't think he's ever going to be a really, really strong contender in metas or archetypes. He's never a card that you're going to need to make a deck work. There's always going to be a pretty easy replacement for him. But from a deck thinning standpoint, that's a pretty big deal to be able to do that. Like I mentioned in the APOC Dracula deck, pulling one more card down, more likely to draw the card you really need, and getting that additional benefit of its end of game on reveal. So he works in some archetypes, and I actually think that he'll be a card that sticks around, that there'll be those decks that take advantage of this benefit that he's offering and use it well. So I think he'll stick around. We'll see what happens, especially as we get these new cards. The cards always trickle. Today it's been Fenris Wolf everywhere, every deck I'm playing against. So that's Malekith. Those are my thoughts on Malekith, way past his final moments, but, for posterity's sake, Malekith's final moments. There you go.